with Python. So anyway, let's have a look at some statistics, and these statistics are taken from Anaconda, which is the framework we're going to be using, and they've done their own research. This is from 2021, so last year, and they surveyed a number of organizations and companies in the data science sector. And you see here nearly 3,000 companies, over 3,000 companies surveyed, and you'll see quite clearly that Python is always or frequently used for data science applications. And you'll see the others, SQL, of course, used in combination probably with Python, as is R, but you'll see the others are much lower in terms of their usage within this field. Not to say that they're not used elsewhere, because they clearly aren't. Like I said, a lot of these find their usage within more traditional software development. But Python very clearly the industry leader, it appears, in the realm of data science. And of course, as we zoom in, we see that here too. So it's not that we exclusively use Python and we don't use any of the others, but it's just that Python is almost always used as one of those languages in 2021. And of course, we do see a very similar distribution in 2022 as well. The same study has been followed up by Anaconda, and you see that the sample size is slightly smaller, but still very reliable, of course, because it's over 2,000 organizations. If you want to see more details of the methodology, of course, follow the link through and see that, but it looks pretty credible to me. One thing to note here is you'll see that the color scheme is actually inverted. So you see that blue, the dark blues and the light blues here are used for rarely and never, and yet on the 2021 report they're used for always and frequently. So you notice that they've actually been inverted, the colour scheme. But thankfully the actual statistics, the numbers, show us that Python is still a year on, and in 2022 still the leader out of the languages. As I say, SQL is a query language, so that won't produce applications. It will only return data from established databases or tables. So Python is clearly leading there. As we zoom in as well, you see that it has still a very strong usage, over 50% in 2022 as it was in 2021. Okay, so we think there's a clear use case there based on the past 2 years of data. Hopefully that should fill you with some confidence that you're studying a language that you can then take into industry if you so desire to work in the sector. This is going to be a very important language for you to know. If you're not using it exclusively, as I say, you'll be using it in combination with other languages out there. A very versatile language, a very flexible language. That's what makes it so appealing. One final survey for you, which is Stack Overflow, a very popular forum if you're unfamiliar. Commonly developers and people learning will post up certain queries they have on the Stack Overflow forum, which of course is a pun on the actual phenomenon of a Stack Overflow, of overflowing a memory source, a stack. Stack Overflow's done its own survey, and here a very large sample size. You see there over 70,000 responses from both professional developers and those learning to code. You can get the full details at the link here as well, and you'll see that Python, this isn't exclusively in data science, I should say. This is across the board, all kinds of sectors: software development, gaming, website, traditional applications, mobile applications. But you see that actually Python, even if you weren't to use it exclusively in data science, it finds its application in a far wider range of areas as well here. So it's actually above Java, C#, and C++, which again are the more traditional languages that have been around since the 20th century. So JavaScript, HTML, CSS are web languages and can be used in combination with Python. Um, I'm not sure if we're due to look at it in this course, but Django is a common way of making Python work with web applications, and indeed Anaconda that we're going to be using is like a web application anyway. So we'll see that as its client side is replicated in a web browser. So Python there finds its application not just in data science but also outside of that. So therefore, even if you don't work in data science, you can still apply it to any other form of developer role out there. So therefore, we think a very worthwhile language to study and to master. So I hope that provides enough motivation for you, and hopefully fills you with confidence that you're studying a language which is used out there in the industry. Hopefully this data will convince you of that.